Recently, I've been asked to discuss a topic, in our home Bible studies and, as we meet with our friends and families and things like that. I've been asked to discuss that when God makes a promise to us, no matter what the circumstances are and what we could see at that time, that that promise will come true. And, really, we could take away from the story of Abraham and Sarah and, really the events and the trials and the patience and needing the faith to really see what God was doing to make that promise. And that promise was to have a son, that Sarah was to bore a son, to be called Isaac. And, I could only imagine with Sarah that when she was given that promise, that she must have been so excited and really knowing that she was gonna bore a son. God promised it to her. And, in those early times, I'm sure there was people talking in the village and people saying, man, Sarah's due to have a baby, and that's all she's ever wanted, and that's what's gonna happen. But, as she's hit her 40s and hit her 50s, I'm sure that she still knew it was going to happen and could still feel it was going to happen. But maybe as she hit her 60s and her 70s, maybe she felt a little bit more discouraged. And maybe she really wanted to know what God was doing with that promise and if that promise was even going to happen. But what we come to soon find out is at the most extraordinary time, especially in our culture, viewing somebody giving birth at 90 years old would be extraordinary. But that's exactly what God wanted. God wanted them to have that story, that only His glory could be shown. And really, what we could take away with that in our lives and in my life is no matter what God has promised us, and no matter what circumstances we could see at that time, maybe He gave us a promise and we've been praying about it, and it seems that it's completely gone the opposite direction, and we don't know what God is doing with it. That we wouldn't trust in that we would trust in what God has told us, and we would be faithful to it, and we would go out there and know it, and know that it was true, and know that it was going to happen. And so if there's something that I would encourage you with today, and definitely for myself, it would be to not trust in what you could see, not trust in the circumstances around you, not looking at it as, man, God, what are you doing with this? It seems like it's gone completely the wrong direction for what you promised for me. But to trust and know and believe that eventually what He's promised us will come true. And wherever you're at with your walk in God, your walk with God, I would just pray that you would just seek His Word daily, and just have the trust and know and feel that joy and that peace to be used by Him in every single circumstance and every single person that comes into your life. You could be used by Him, and knowing and trusting that whatever He promised for you will come true. Thank you, and God bless.